Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Keough from Romios Gold. Kevin, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing well, very well, Tracy. It's fall here and winter is setting in, but we've accomplished a lot recently, and I'm looking forward to what's to come.
And you just became the CEO around June, and the changes that you have promised since you started, I think we should start there. Do you want to start by giving us an update on the new round of field work on the Kincaid project?
Yes, well, it's Kincaid and Trek South, of course. Kincaid is in Nevada, and Trek South is in British Columbia. And I got involved because, yes, Romeo's has some exceptional assets, and I'm interested in focusing on those for the benefit of our shareholders. Um, we've had a whole series of steps, and we even announced that, Tracy, on our website. If you go there, there is a major corporate revamp underway. So I would say to investors who are looking for a turnaround play, that's what Romeo's is. And there's a number of steps we're going to complete prior to year end that'll totally change the look and feel of this company, how it operates, its name, and various other aspects to the benefit, I hope, of our shareholders. And we're doing that because I believe the company has hidden in that great number of assets that it currently still has. It's got a gem or two that we're going to do the drilling on starting next year.
And part of your role when you stepped in as CEO was to clean up some of the financial issues. You've done a private placement, and of course, you just announced a debt settlement. Would you like to touch on some of those highlights?
Sure. I would point people to our management discussion and analysis that just came out the day before yesterday. Um, if you look at the highlights section, you'll see a whole list of accomplishments that have mainly occurred in the period since June 30. So we recognize the company had a series of issues to deal with. Has an inflated capital structure, had a lot of debt. It had management that perhaps is getting on in years. And so the company need a complete refresh. And that's what we are doing. And I mean a radical refresh. So that process will complete by the end of this year. So keep that timeline in mind. And yes, as part of that refresh process, we've done a significantly overplaced private placement. I personally put in quite a bit of money into that. And again, the reason we're doing it is because I see assets in this company that could make our shareholders a lot of money going forward. And I'm not talking several years out, but within the next drilling season, I hope to deliver some really serious discovery results that'll be meaningful to the value of our stock.
You were talking earlier on Investor Talk about how you were planning on utilizing a similar model to what you did with GT Gold. Can you tell us
Mhm.
more about that?
Yes, I want people to be clear on what let's call Romeo's basically a developing new company. There will be some additional steps, as I mentioned, prior to the year end. And what we're planning to do really is focus our efforts on Trek South, which is an emerging copper gold porphyry play in British Columbia. It's a seasonal play, but it offers the prospect, I believe, of a discovery in the first round of drilling. And by discovery, I mean the prospect of one that has the merits of potentially becoming a mine. We have a large scale target in place there. And so that'll be the focus. Yes, we have other assets, but they are not really going to attract any of our resources for the foreseeable future, especially if we get serious traction at Trek South.
Of course, you were discussing rebranding as well. Will it be a new name, for instance, with Romeo's Gold as you move into the new year?
Yes, that process is underway. That's a key step in the rebrand. Um, We're doing that really because we already have new directors. We've got a new vision. We've got a new operating model. Like I mentioned, we're no longer a prospect generator. We are looking to generate discoveries ourselves and not using other people's money. And one of the great things about Romios is that all of our key property assets, whether it's Trek South or Kincaid in Nevada, we own 100% of those assets. So once we finish the corporate rebuild process, um, we'll be in a position to really focus in on those particular flagship assets, if I can call them that, and they are. And the rebrand, of course, will just help with that promotion of that vision.
You just added a new board member with formidable financial experience. Can you comment a little bit more about your new board member, and will you be adding any more board members here in the near future?
Yeah, I don't think we'll add more in the near future, Tracy. You're right. We've added actually several new directors recently. Um, I'd like to run the company perhaps more professionally than it has been run in the past. That means regular board meetings and so on. Um, we've brought in a number of independent directors. And people like Liz Wallinger, for example, and Malcolm Davidson, they're fully qualified financial people, CPAs, accountants, that kind of thing. We've got a new corporate secretary. We brought in Trish Shocks. Trish is the current chair of the Association for Mineral Exploration BC and lives in the interior and obviously has tremendous connections. So with Trish and with Liz and with Malcolm, we've got independent directors um, that are younger and very energized to help build this company. And they've all joined because, like me, they've seen the potential in what we've got as long as we can fix the issues that Romeos has had. And these issues, again, going back to our latest management discussion analysis, you can see what we've accomplished already. So we are doing what we said we'd do, and it's certainly helpful to have these new directors in place to help Steve and I accomplish all of that, Tracy.
So, what should we as shareholders be looking forward to in the upcoming quarter?
I think we'd appeal, and your shareholders should, anybody looking at the company does need to recognize that we're early stage explorers. That's true. And it's risky, right? You don't put money into us unless you're prepared to gamble it to some degree. But we really have an outstanding team. I think for those potential investors in the company who really want to look at the results of the exploration work on Trek South, sometimes it requires a bit of a technical understanding, and I realize that puts a lot of investors at a disadvantage. But the fact is that the geosciences we've applied to Trek South, for example, and to Kincaid now, and there's some further work to be done at Kincaid, those results are really strong and they all complement each other. And that's important. It doesn't mean you've got an anomaly over there and another one over here. They're all together, which gives you or greatly heightens the chances of success when you do the first drilling. We had that at GT Gold with the saddle discovery. The geosciences indicated an overlap between all the results. And therefore, investors who have a bit of a gambling instinct, this is a good bet. And I would say the potential to make a big return based off the first drilling is there, but recognize it's risky. And that's all I'd say to them. I'm prepared to take these risks. I've put up a lot of real money into that last private placement, and I'm pretty optimistic it's going to pay off.
Well, for those of you interested in finding out more, please do your due diligence and go to the following website. Thank you, Kevin, for joining us today.
My pleasure, Tracy.